Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to this beginner Ashtanga class. I'm going to guide you through how to set up the basics of your Ashtanga yoga practice. So let's get started in a comfortable seated position, close the eyes, and let's initiate the space of practice with our traditional opening prayer. Vande Guru Nam Charanara Vinde Sandarshita Swatma Sukhava Bodhe Nishreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Muhashantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakra Siddharinam Sahasrashirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Slowly let the eyes open, and we've initiated the space of practice in the traditional teacher-student tradition, which means that as we embark on this path together, we're here for each other. The essence of Ashtanga Yoga is really about creating that space of the lineage, which means that we're embarking upon a timeless quest for things which are hard to explain in words, so let's actually just do the practice and see how that goes. Let's start off by coordinating breath, body, and mind, the three elements which are present in every Ashtanga Yoga practice. We'll do it from seated, and then we'll get started in the beginning of foundational movements of the practice called the sun salutations. So I'd like you now to activate the muscles of the pelvic floor, draw the muscles of the lower abdomen in, and then just lift the spine so that the rib cage kind of lifts up out of the pelvic bowl. You could find yourself growing a little bit taller, and if you're not so tall, like I'm not so tall if you ever see me in person, every little inch that you can gather from a little core activation is a pleasurable experience. So now, let's do some deep breathing coordinated with movement. I'd like you to place your hands by the sides of your pelvis, pointing the fingertips down. Maintain the length through the center line. Then externally rotate the shoulders and inhale, reach for the ceiling. That's good. And then exhale, let the arms float down. Now, we don't want to breathe and then move. I want you to breathe and move together. So as you inhale, let the arms float upwards. Keep breathing in, and see if the palms can touch. And then exhale, let the breath flow down, out through the fingertips until you reach the end of the exhalation. All right, let's do that one more time. Inhale, let's raise the arms all the way up. And then exhale all the way down. Uniting breath, body, and mind will help you feel a sense of inner peace. Now let's increase the demand that we're asking in that level of coordination. So let's come on up to standing. Take a moment in what's called samastitihi, placing the bases of the big toes together, and let's now find that equal standing, which is what samastitihi means. The beginning point. Close the eyes for a moment to tap into the subtlety of the inner sensations. Then as you open the eyes, let the gaze rest towards the tip of the nose. And now let's begin to build up to Surya Namaskar A. The first breath, inhale, raise the arms, keep breathing in, until the fingers touch. Exhale, pivot at the hip joints as you fold slowly down, dropping the head. Inhale, lift the center of the chest forward. You can even come all the way up and the fingers can even graze the shin bones. And then as you exhale, bend the knees. Step all the way back through plank pose, taking support from the knees if you need, and Chaturanga Dandasana, which is a push-up position. Rolling the shoulder blades down the back, lift the chest. Inhale, roll over the toes, and we're now in upward facing dog. And we can take support from the knees, and then exhale, push back to downward facing dog. So we'll roll the shoulders open and send the hips back and up. And then now breathe as deeply as possible. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths. So if you notice yourself breathing quite rapidly, slow the breath down and see if you can deepen it a bit more. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. Nice. We can gaze towards the toes, the knees,
or the most classical gaze is towards the navel, but that might not be accessible for many of us. Let's take one more breath here. All right, that's good. At the end of the exhalation, let's switch the gaze to between the hands. Come up onto the balls of the feet, and then inhale. Let's walk your feet all the way forward, coming all the way up, lifting the chest, and then exhale, fold. You need to bend the knees a little, it's all right. Inhale, we'll stand all the way up. Keep breathing in, nice and slow, until the fingertips reach, and exhale, samastitihi. Back to standing. Let's do that again. Inhale the first breath, a long, deep breath in. Exhale, pivot from the hip joints. Let's fold and go down. Inhale, send the chest forward, find your hand position, and exhale, we'll go back. Let's find that plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, a big breath in. Gaze to the nose tip, articulate the spine. Exhale, all the way back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. 1, 2. Lift from the hips so the weight doesn't crush down into the shoulders. 3. Keep the navel drawn in. 4. 5. Let's switch the gaze forward. And then inhale. Let's come on all the way back forward between the hands. Exhale, fold. Come on down. Inhale, let's stand up, pivoting from the hip joints, breathing in until the fingertips touch. Samastitihi, back to standing. We should notice an increased heating sensation in the body. That's that spark of what's called tapas, the internal power of purification. Let's keep going. Inhale, raise the arms. We get a big breath in. Exhale, fold, taking the hands down. Inhale, send the chest forward, big breath in. Exhale all the way back, find your plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, gazing at the nose tip. Exhale, downward facing. 5 breaths. 1. Try to straighten the legs as much as you can. 2. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just find that connection of breath, body, and mind. 3, 4, 5. Let's switch the gaze forward. Inhale, come on forward. Feet between the hands, send the chest forward. Exhale, let's fold. Come on down. Inhale, all the way up. Keep breathing in. Raise the arms. Samastitihi. All right, that's good. We're going to do 2 more times. Inhale, raise the arms. Big breath. Exhale, fold. Pivot. Go down. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, find your plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Big breath in. All right, exhale. Downward facing, big breath out. 1, 2. Find the distance of your downward dog that equally distributes the weight between your hands and your feet. Don't do too much hands, don't do too much feet. Let it be equal, or as close to equal as possible. 4, 5. Switch your gaze forward. Inhale. Come on forward. Feet between the hands. Chest up. Exhale, let's fold. Come on down. Inhale all the way up. Samastitihi. And back to standing. All right. Well, now we're going to do it one more time. For the last one, I'll count these movements in the traditional Sanskrit vinyasa. Vinyasa is that idea of coordinating breath with movement so that we can find that internal sense of sacred space. Ekam, inhale, raise the arms. Dve, exhale, fold, go down. Trini, inhale, chest forward. Chatwari, exhale, chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward facing. Shat, exhale, downward facing. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's switch the gaze forward. Sapta, inhale, come on forward. Ashto, exhale, fold. Nava, inhale all the way up. Samastitihi, back to standing. All right, feel the breath, feel the body, feel the mind. That's good. Now we'll move on to Surya Namaskar B, the second variation of the sun salutations. We're going to be adding in Utkatasana, a chair pose, and Virabhadrasana A, or Warrior One. So let's add those in. All right, so we'll bend the knees and sink into the hip joints. And inhale, we'll raise the arms. If you can't touch the hands together, we can gaze forward. If you can touch the hands together, palms press. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Straighten the legs, fold forward, go down. Inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, come on back. And now, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Big breath in. Exhale, downward facing. All the way out. All right, we're going to turn that left foot out and put your heel down. Look forward. Step forward, bending the right knee. Make sure that left heel is down. Raise the arms. Warrior One. That's all in one inhalation. Exhale, take the hands down. Keep exhaling as you step back. Chaturanga. Inhale again. Upward facing. Exhale. Downward facing. Turn the right foot out. Step the left one forward and keep breathing in. Raise the arms all the way up. Look at the thumbs. Exhale, hands down. Find your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale again, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. All right, we settle in for 5 breaths. If you feel yourself out of breath, you can always take half downward dog by sinking the knees down, or even take child's pose, finding what works. If you're comfortable in your downward dog, you can stay on up. And we'll stay for about 3 more breaths. Now it might be appropriate to start to resonate the breath so you can breathe with sound, keeping the lips sealed, always in and out through the nose. Let's do one more deep breath. At the end of that exhalation, let's switch the gaze forward. And inhale, step your feet forward between the hands. Exhale, fold, come on down. Bend the knees. Let's return to Utkatasana, our chair pose. Samastitihi. Release the hands. Come on back. You'll notice the cardiovascular element of Surya Namaskar B. It's doing what it's supposed to do. We'll do it again to see if we can increase that internal fire. Let's bend the knees. Inhale, we raise the arms. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, the chest moves forward. Big breath in. Exhale, find your plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right side. Step forward, Warrior One. Raise the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left side, step it forward. Warrior One on the left side, find the alignment. Exhale, all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, back to downward facing, 5 breaths. You can always reposition yourself. Sometimes it's nice to just feel where the body wants to land. 5 deep breaths. Reclaim the equalization between inhalation and exhalation, between body and mind. Two more breaths. Watch the gaze, don't close the eyes. Switch your gaze forward. Inhale, let's bring those feet forward between the hands. Exhale, fold. All right, let's bend the knees. Inhale, raise the arms. Samastitihi, and back to standing. We're going to do one more time, and this time I'm going to count Surya Namaskar B through the traditional Sanskrit vinyasa. Ekam, inhale, bend your knees, hands up. Dve, exhale, fold forward, go down. Triti, inhale, head up. Chatwari, exhale, chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward facing. Shat, exhale, downward facing. Sapta, inhale, right side. Keep breathing in until the hands touch. Ashto, exhale, chaturanga. Nava, inhale, upward facing. Dasha, exhale, downward facing. Left side. Ekadasha, inhale, step forward, arms up. Dwadasha, exhale, chaturanga. Trayogdasha, inhale. Chaturasha, exhale. 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch the gaze forward. Panchadisha, inhale, come on forward. Shodisha, exhale, fold. Saptadisha, inhale, bend your knees. Raise your hands. Samastitihi, and back to standing. Feel the breath, feel the body, feel the mind. Let's take a step back on the mat and just sit down. All right, cross your legs. We'll now move on to the last 3 poses. My teacher, Pattabhi Jois, always said that the Surya Namaskar plus the last 3 poses really constitutes a complete practice, laying the foundation for the entire Ashtanga yoga method. We should be clear that this is not a beginner yoga practice, but a beginner Ashtanga practice, meaning how you can begin to learn the traditional practice of Ashtanga yoga. If you're a total beginner, it's okay too, just might be a little hard, but if we keep practicing, we'll be able to find out how to move deeper into this method. In a cross-legged position, you can stay in a cross-legged position. For example, if the knees are elevated, I don't recommend that you try half lotus, full lotus position. However, if you're comfortable in a seated position, keeping the right knee joint closed, we can place the right foot on the shelf of the upper thigh on the left side. And then if the hips are open enough and the knees are safe, we can take the full lotus position. Then we bind our Padmasana for Bhaja Padmasana. So if we're not taking the lotus position, the way that we articulate the bind is by holding onto the elbows behind the back. We can give that a shot. Even if you have the lotus position, this might still be your bind. If the shoulders are open enough, we can take the left hand using the internal rotation of the shoulder and hold on to the left foot. So it's going to be the top foot first. We take the right hand, internally rotate the shoulder, reach around, and hold on to the right foot. Then with a big breath in, and then as you exhale, fold, reaching the chin, the nose, or the forehead towards the ground. We'll stay for 10 breaths. 1, 2. Don't fight to hold on to the feet. If the grip loosens, just let it be a loose contact point. 3, gazing at the nose tip. 4, 5, deep breaths. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Inhale, we come all the way up. Let's open the palms. We'll take the tip of the index finger and the thumb and touch that together in Jnana Mudra. And again, gaze at the nose tip, 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, deep breathing. Remember to lift up the spine out of the pelvic bowl. 6, 7, don't close the eyes, keep the nose tip gaze. 8, 9, last big breath, you can do it. A big breath in, and a big breath out. And that's good. All right, now our last pose is called Utplutihi, which means sprung up. So you're going to tighten your lotus if you have your lotus, and flex your ankles and flex your toes as well. And lift the knees a little bit up, but not too much up. All right, and take the hands forward. I'll show you the lift up with the lotus, and I'll show you an alternative that you can do without the lotus position as well. All right, so we take the hands forward. Let's just try the lift up first, and then we're going to try the hold. Push your weight a little forward, and then press, and see if the hips can go back and up. Without the lotus position, right, so if we've been doing this for our Padmasana position, we'll keep the knees elevated, and if your knees are down, let's elevate the knees and take the hands a little forward. And then we have 2 options for this. We're gonna straighten the elbows, lean the shoulders a little forward, and the first step is just get the hips off the ground. You can push a little more with the arms, your feet can come off the ground as well. I want you to choose which option feels better for you. The lotus position, if you have the blessing of open hips, is a little bit easier because the legs are kind of tied up, so it's a little easier to lift. You decide. You can also put some blocks if the lift up feels difficult, but if you push consistently into the floor for about 3 months, then the lift up might be possible. It took me about a year, so if you do it after 3 months, you're ahead of the game, or at least my game, if we're playing. Take the hands forward, and here we go. This is Utplutihi, and yes, it's going to be 10. I will count relatively fast. All right, here we go. Inhale, Utplutihi, and we've got 1. Gaze at the nose tip. 2. Steady. Remember to breathe. 3. 4. You can do it. Just try. 5. If you go down, try to go back up. 6. 7. Lift. 8. 9, last one, get back up, and 10. All right, let's put it down. Stay down for a moment. Keep the mind calm. All right, let's remove your lotus position, and then let's find the way back to plank position. Yes, plank again. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Switch your gaze forward. Inhale, let's come all the way forward. Feet between the hands. Exhale, fold. Samastitihi, come on back up to standing. Hands in prayer. We'll do what's called the closing prayer, the closing invocation, which is a Shanti mantra, offering the merits of our practice for the benefit of all beings, including ourselves, a prayer for peace. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu om shanti shanti shanti. Inhale, let's raise the arms, a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hands by your feet, go down. Inhale, let's send the chest forward. Exhale, come on back, plank to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Sink your knees down, let's turn around, lie down, take rest. Just a few moments here to find, again, that connection between breath, body, mind. And this constitutes the complete foundation of the Ashtanga yoga method. So if you're newer to the practice, think about coming back to this class to build the solid foundation of Ashtanga yoga. And don't rush the journey. Don't try to do everything perfectly from the beginning. It's just practice.
Feel the heartbeat. Let it come back to baseline point of regulation. Feel the breath. Let it also return to that baseline point of ease. Feel the body, letting that also return to a calm point. Now we'll slowly awaken the body, light little movements. Find the way through either just little movements or a little stretch, bending the knees and the elbows. Give yourself a little hug. Thank your body for the gift of the practice, a little squeeze. Roll over to the side and come on back up to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations on completing the foundational practice of the Surya Namaskar, the sun salutations, understanding that this is really the foundational element of Ashtanga yoga, the coordination of breath, body, and mind, that spark, which begins the journey. And now it's up to you to continue that journey. If you are inspired about the Ashtanga yoga practice, I want to invite you to go deeper with me on my online channel Omstars, where I do live interactive classes, and I'd love to see you over there, so check it out on omstars.com. No matter where you are on your Ashtanga yoga journey, I want you to find the tools to support your practice. And the most important thing is not that you get it right. I don't think any of us ever do, just that you keep practicing. Thanks so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love.